What's up, guys? Hope all is well. Today, we're jumping right in to this box that I was hoping to get from Distro, but again, did not get allocated for, unfortunately. But picked it up, of all places, at Toys R Us. And that's right, you heard me right, and I'll explain in a minute. We are talking about the Masks of Ogerpon Premium Collection Box. And this bad boy comes with 10 packs. So this one, hopefully, will be exciting. So now, yes, you heard me right. Toys R Us. For those who may not know, Toys R Us went bankrupt a few years back. The specific year, don't remember. They had to shut down the whole chain. And we're talking all the Toys R Us, all the Babies R Us, all the Kids R Us stores, all gone. They stayed at the time, once they shut down, they stayed to like online retail only. But they have opened just one retail location. They're back, but just one location. They opened smaller corner, and I say corner locations. They were operating with Macy's to sell through them. But now they do have, there's one store in the American Dream Mall in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And they had Pokemon there. I just went there for this past weekend. They have a few Pokemon items there, actually. But the first thing, and I'm not surprised, when we asked about the Pokemon products, the first thing they said, well, we sell them at market price, not at retail. And let's be real, in the current situation of things, I was not surprised by that answer at all. That's the only reason they had stuff in stock. But mind you, I will also say that they had stuff above market. This box was above market because we paid $60 for it. And I have other online retailers that I've seen selling it as low as $45. So I don't mind paying a little extra. After all, it is Toys R Us, a cherished store of my childhood. So if it helps to bring them back, I'm all for it. But yeah, 60 is obviously a bit higher than the actual market price currently. There's your code card. But again, you could also attribute the fact that they need to pay for an actual big rent, especially in a mall like that. There's your jumbo. And I just dropped one of the featured cards, which I'll get to in a second. So, but yes, it was exciting. Now, granted, I'm probably overplaying it a bit. The Toys R Us at this mall has been there for a couple of years at least already. So I'll try not to knock anything down, and everything wants to fall. That's my life. Everything wants to fall. Anyway. So yes, I lost my train of thought, but let me just pick it back up. The American Dream Mall, I don't remember what year it opened, but I believe it's like the second or third largest mall in the country now, something like that. It's huge. It's massive. You need Disney World feet to spend a whole day in there, truly exploring all the floors and all the shops they have there. Not to mention, it has an indoor amusement park / theme park, an indoor water park, 2 mini golfs, an aquarium, a Legoland. I forgot what else, but all that is in there plus more. The Toys R Us that's in there is a 2-story Toys R Us location that has a cool slide for kids going from the second floor to the first floor, and also has Babies R Us. There are featured cards. I'm assuming the stamp is unique to these guys, and if so, these are getting graded. Because a stamp is a stamp, and a stamp makes stuff unique. That's why first edition for old school took off like it did. That stamp is everything. I'm gonna see those. All right. So I just realized how much time I've quote wasted just talking about Toys R Us. But yes, obviously I was a Toys R Us fan as a kid. What kid is not a Toys R Us fan? Anyway, 5 Twilight Masquerade packs and 5 Temporal Forces packs. I'll do Temporal first, followed by Twilight. So I am a little surprised that it's 5 and 5. I was expecting like a 2 kind of thing, but hey, it is what it is. I don't know if they're all packaged that way. If somebody could let me know, that'd be great. And I wasted enough time talking about Toys R Us. Let's jump finally right in. So I apologize, but yes, it was nice to see Pokemon in any retail location, and especially it being Toys R Us. But again, now since it was the fact that everything is above market, I understand why it's still there. If you won't find them at Walmarts or Targets or whatever unless you know people and you're like the first one at the store. And then what's still infuriating me really is that these other retailers don't enforce limits. At one point, Target had limits. You could purchase one at a time and blah, blah, blah. But I kid you not, there are videos circulating everywhere where people are buying this stuff. As we get the Awakening Drum A-Spec trainer, there are people buying this stuff like crazy with no limits, which is annoying, especially the way that things have been. But anyway, Awakening Drum card 141 and Ancient Booster and Bramble Gas. Sorry, I was hoping for something else there. It's all right. Let me sleeve the drum. Because not even, to my knowledge, not even the bigger guys like Costco, BJ's, or Sam's Club, I don't think any of them have. I think they've all removed their limits again, which I really don't get. I like the fact that at one point Costco was enforcing the limit, like when the Blooming Waters collection came out. That was great. But it seems like everybody's all of a sudden been lenient now. And I'm just like, why? It's not like supply has increased. Supply is continuously decreasing, or rather not decreasing. Supply is the same, but you have demand that's still high as it can be. And I mean super high, because you have now your weaker sets that have been weak for years, and all of a sudden, finally, they're starting to be worth money. And let's face it, that's the only reason they're worth money, because if you're a fan and you're trying to get your hands on something, as we get the Iron Leaves EX card 25 there, regular EX. If you're trying to get your hands on something, but you can't get your hands on anything, well, what are you going to go after next? The weak sets that nobody wanted. So all of a sudden, they become in demand. Therefore, those who have them can now sell them for more money. And that's just how everything works. So that's the only real reason. I mean, let's face it, like a set like Vivid Voltage finally bounced back. That's the only reason why Crimson Invasion, which is literally a 7-year-old set, finally got anywhere near the $400 50 mark, at least at the time of filming. But my point is, why did it take 7 years for a set to get to $450 retail price when you have a set like Lost Origin, much younger, and it's the same price? Now, granted, the first obvious answer is the hits, the difference in the hits. You're talking about the awesome Giratina card that, again, arguably is better than the Crown Zenith one, versus Crimson, where you just have, at best, the Gyarados. Now, granted, it's a gorgeous Gyarados, but clearly it wasn't gorgeous enough that people wanted it that badly, both at that time at release and even now. It hasn't really held up its value as well as it could have. And the thing is like, at least from my experience and stuff, like, Gyarados is not a pushover. So I don't know why he never, at least in that set, got the recognition it deserved. But the same goes for Evolving Skies, because the Gyarados in there is also a pretty good looking Gyarados, and yet he also in that set is not worth as much as you think. So it is a little surprising. And here we go, a Legacy Energy, Special Energy, card 167, and this is out of Twilight. And Snorunts and Zapdos. So yeah, it's all interesting. And I personally like, if I had to pick a pose between the Evolving Skies Gyarados and the Crimson Invasion Gyarados, I actually would pick the Crimson Invasion Gyarados over the Evolving Skies one. But anyhow, that's why when I had 4 Crimson Invasion booster boxes still in my collection as of last year, I said to myself, they're still not really building much, and I can't always hold on to everything in life because, you know, we don't have infinite storage space. So I had to choose. I ended up getting rid of, or, you know, selling whatever, the Crimson Invasion booster boxes. So all 4 are gone that I had. Kind of regret selling them all now. I wish I would have kept one, but they're all gone. And to replace the 4, I put in 4 Lost Origin booster boxes that are obviously going to build much quicker. So that's the choices you have to make when it comes to, I guess, investing. I guess that's the best way to put it. So we are down to second to last pack already. So at least I kind of went through them pretty quickly after that whole Toys R Us speech. As we pull the Kieran Full Art Trainer, which of course is not called Full Arts anymore, but that name has stuck with me for so many years. Card 206. And let me get my sleeve. Okay. And now our last pack, and I'm just sorting out my bulk on this end before it falls. You know, for a second I got hype. I was like, "Oh, look at how many hits we got!" But no, two of them are the featured cards, so that doesn't never count for me. Even though, again, they are stamped, so that might mean something value-wise. I might have to look that up after the episode. All right, here we go. Aron, Ogre's Mask, Sunflora, Enhanced Hammer, Ariados, Farigiraf, and Heatran. All right, no go there. So to round it out of the 10 packs, we got 4 hits. The Kieran, the Legacy Energy, Iron Leaves DX, and Awakening Drum. Definitely not no $60 worth of cards here. Not sure about those and him. So 4 hits. Was that 40%? Yes, because it was 10 packs. So that'll do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope you guys have a chance to visit the Toys R Us here in New Jersey, even though I'm in New York, but it's not that far away from me. Also, actually, a little side note, but this is just me being a Toys R Us fan again, is that I miss the mega ship, not even flagship, mega ship store that they used to have in Times Square in Manhattan. That store will forever stay in my memory unless, God forbid, I get Alzheimer's or something, because that store was epic. I think it was 4 floors at one point. There's a basement, first, second, third. Yeah, it was at least 4 floors. Enormous. There was a Ferris wheel inside the store. Animatronic T-Rex from Jurassic Park. It was amazing. Simply amazing. For any of those who got to see it back then when it was open, definitely drop a comment and tell me what you thought of it. Other than that, hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.